So what is the first step of starting a business?
One of the first steps, besides actually knowing what kind of business you want to start, would be picking out a name for your business. And this is something that took me so long to do, and we've actually come up with a couple different tips for y'all today to help you guys. I wish that I could have watched something like this a few weeks ago because it took me forever to decide the name of my business.
So all our research is going to benefit everybody here. So we have 5 tips for being able to pick the name of your first business. And so tip number 1 is do a brainstorming session. Grab a whiteboard, grab a piece of paper, grab a Sharpie, just anything that you have laying around, and just start writing down words. They don't have to be words that you think will be the name of the business, or even words that are related to the business. And so, one of the ways that you could do this is by using a thesaurus. Thesaurus.com is obviously a really good website. And so, when you're picking a name for a business like a restaurant, it doesn't necessarily make sense to do Vincent and Meredith's Food Restaurant, because that's very functional, very literal. And so you want to find words that are related to that word. And so another website that we really liked, wordnik.com, it's wordnik.com. This was something that was really cool. You can look up your word in one dictionary, and what WordNik does is it pulls a bunch of different sources, a bunch of different websites together, and it aggregates it all into one place. It can tell you about the history of the word and really make sure that you understand that word. And then one of the things we talked about yesterday too is it might even make sense to jump on a website like Urban Dictionary and just make sure that your word doesn't have any negative connotations and it doesn't mean something that could potentially not be good for your brand.
So the next step we have after that, kind of realizing the main words you want to include in the title of your business, you really need to think about the theme that you want your business to encapture and the feelings that you want people to have when they hear the name of your business. So for example, my business, I've titled it Dressed by Grace, and I want my customers and my subscribers, whoever's coming to my website, I want them to feel inspired and confident and loved by the clothing that they're picking out, and so that's why I chose to include the word grace. And so when you're deciding what you want to title your business, you need to think about the theme that you want it to have. Do you want it to be serious or inspiring, exciting, functional? You really need to get that down.
And the next one is probably my favorite one, because usually starting a business is a lot of hard work, and this one's actually the easiest step to do, which is just give it time. After you come up with your list of potential names for your business, you'll probably have your longer list and your short list. You don't want to get attached to anything on your short list yet, but take a night to sleep on it, take a weekend to think about it, or even potentially take longer time. And then when you come back to it, see if you still feel the same excitement that you had around those names on that list as you did when you originally started brainstorming different names.
This is something that I actually took a few weeks to do, which is probably longer than the average person, but I am a perfectionist and I like to plan things out accordingly, and so it took me quite a long time to do that. But after you give it a little bit of time, you think about your name, you need to go and make sure that the domain name and the LLCs are available for the name of this business. You really don't want your business to be confused with anyone else's. And so go online, check out that domain name, try and go ahead and purchase a few if you're thinking about any specific names, because you don't want anyone else to grab those and you not have access to them anymore. And so you can also get the .com, .net, .org, get all of the options, because you want to make sure you have that ability for yourself.
Yeah, a lot of people even grab common misspellings of the name, and so if there's 2 letter S's, you might want to buy the one with only 1 letter S. That way, if your future customers aren't quite sure how to spell the name of your business and they accidentally mistype it, they still have a way of being able to find your website. A really easy way of being able to look up the .com, the .net, and there's even new ones like .co, .us, .io that a lot of startups are using, is to actually go to domains.google. Domains.google is one of the easiest ways of being able to search for domains. It actually shows you all of those different endings, or the domain endings, all in one place. Makes it really, really simple. The next step is to test it out. And so once you have your name, you want to buy your domain name first, obviously, and then after that you can start sharing that name with other people and seeing how they feel about that name. And so different ways of being able to do that: you can go out to a Facebook group or be able to go out onto forums. And so if you're interested in starting a clothing company or an apparel company, you can go out to a group with other people that are interested about that, post a name, and just ask them what they think about it. That way you know how your future customers might react to this type of a name.
This is something that I actually did with my channel. I made a video saying that I was interested in starting a business, and I asked for feedback on the name ideas that I have, and that's something that I found to be super, super helpful, was getting my subscribers' input on that. So we actually kind of want to get y'all's input on the name we have chosen today. So we've gone with the name Startup Garage Live, and we would love to hear what y'all have to say about it.
And so in the comments below, let us know if you're thinking about starting a business. Let's see if we can help each other out with the brainstorm phase as well. So if you're starting a business, post down in the comments what type of business you're starting, and let's start brainstorming together, and we can all help each other out.
Yeah.
So Startup Garage Live we started because we felt like there were so many different amazing companies that got started inside of a garage. Meredith, you're not quite starting it in a garage, but kind of similar, right?
Yes, I will be running my business out of my basement at home, so basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing, a lot safer and probably a little bit more comfortable during some seasons.
Yes.
So I didn't tell you about this, but I did a little bit of research of companies that were founded in a garage. Can you take a guess at what some of them are?
I think I know a couple off the top of my head. I know that Amazon and Nike were, and I believe Google might have been as well.
Google was founded in a garage. Yeah, those were all. The one I was surprised about, Harley Davidson, founded out of a garage as well. And Mattel, the toy company. And so, it's garage startups. A lot of the times we think of the tech startups, but there's so many non-tech companies that were actually started in garages as well. I saw we have a couple questions from those of you that are watching. So Gino, thanks for asking questions. First question is, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I will be heading home to Birmingham, my hometown, for Thanksgiving, and I'm really excited about that, to see my family.
And I'm going to California. We're going to be spending some time back home there as well. Second question, because you mentioned fashion earlier, is tell us about the watch that you're wearing.
Oh, the watch that I am wearing. Funny you asked. This is actually my favorite watch. It is from Kate Spade, and I really love it. It's nice brown leather, and it matches with everything. I would highly recommend it.
So not sponsored by Kate Spade, but we will put a link in the comments afterwards if you're interested in that particular watch. So if you are watching us on Facebook right now, hit the follow button to be able to follow us. All these videos are going to go onto YouTube as well. So if you search for Startup Garage Live on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and at some point we'll also get these up on iTunes so you can listen to this as a podcast as well.
We would also love to hear what kind of topics y'all want us to talk about. So again, comment those down below if you are going through the journey of starting a business and you're struggling with anything or need help or advice with anything. Let us know, and we would really love to talk about those things.
So we want to be able to talk about all of those things. Thanks so much for joining us. We are broadcasting here live every Saturday, 9 o'clock Central. 10 o'clock Central. That's 8 o'clock Pacific time. And thanks so much for joining us. Next week, we're really excited. It's going to be Small Business Saturday next week, and so we're going to be talking all about that. So we'll see you, same time, same place. See you next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.